question to which you feel blockage, state it. I'm afraid to put myself first. I've been trained otherwise. I don't put myself first very well. I worry about what other people think about me.
I don't want to hurt others.
I'm trying to be the path of least resistance for others rather than the path of least resistance for myself. Now, just putting it in those terms sort of dissipated it a little bit, didn't it? I'm trying to do the impossible task of being the path of least resistance for someone else rather than minding my own business and being my own path of least resistance. That's all right. It's all right to be there, so let's Swiss cheese it. I am not yet allowing myself to be the naturally selfishly oriented being that I am and putting myself first. So that's the big question to which you feel blockage. So let's Swiss cheese it. Just now, I did not want to mention that I've been in the hot seat on several occasions because I didn't want to hurt the feelings of others.
Oh, wow.
And yet, it didn't keep me from raising my hand. And it didn't stop Abraham from recognizing the perfection of this dialogue. And so, it didn't stop law of attraction from matching me up with what I wanted. So, we might only have to fill in one hole and it might get the whole thing. So perhaps, by depriving myself of what I am vibrationally ready for and calling for, it doesn't leave any juice for anyone else because they all have equal access to the resources. And allowing myself access to the resources does not ever deprive anyone else of the resources. It's their own inability to not line up with the resources that is the only thing that deprives them of the resources. And I couldn't deprive myself enough of the resources to leave more for them. Law of attraction, I've decided not to allow any good things to come to myself for a little while. So will you give some of that to the others? Understanding is deep now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Play with this game. In other words, identify what the big thing is and then break it down into smaller things and acknowledge how easy it is for you to find resonance with the answers to those questions, and then the full-blown answer flows to you. But here's the thing. If you ask a question that's too big, you can't get in the receptive mode. So ask a question that puts you in the receptive mode instantly. Ask a question to which you know the answer is in the receptive mode.
How?
Will the sun come up this morning? Yes. Am I living a good life? Yes, I am. Am I mostly having fun? For sure. So I like this evolution and expansion of my beingness. Oh, I do. Am I eager for more understanding? Yes. Is the understanding going to be ever coming? Yes, it is. Is there a sweet spot in the unfolding? Yes. Is a question to which I don't know the answer the beginning of something wonderful? Yes. Is there anything wrong with me not having all of the answers all at once? No. Do I want to eat all the food that I will eat for the rest of my life today? No. Do I like things to come incrementally? Yes. Am I ready for what's coming? Yes. Have I queued up a lot to come? Yes. Is Abraham, is source energy, is my inner being aware of what I want? Yes. Does my inner being know where I am in relationship to what I want? Yes. Is my inner being factoring in my resistance when it flows to me? Yes. So is my resistance a problem? No. Will my inner being always flow to me no matter how much resistance I have? Yes. Am I aware of when I have resistance? Yes. Can I do something about it? Yes. Do I need to do something about it all at once? No, it doesn't work anyway. Can I do something about it a little bit at a time? Yes. Am I doing something a little bit at a time? Yes. Has my life improved? Yes. Has my life improved by my deliberate attention? Yes. Do I understand what I'm doing? Yes. Am I doing well at this? Yes. Yes. These are just basic things that as you begin to play with it, if you make lists of positive aspects about someone, you're going to have a better relationship with them than if you make lists of negative aspects about them.
Clearly.
But now we're years down the road, we're vibrations down the road, and now what we're saying to you is, Most people are still, with all of this coaching and counseling and guidance that we've been offering, they are still needing conditions to change before they will allow themselves to really feel good. And the way that translates out with most of you is you're asking others to approve and appreciate. In other words, it matters so much how others are seeing me. I care about what you think. I want your perspective to meld with my perspective. And then I'll be happier if you really get me, if you really understand me.
So how do you...
And there's a trap in that you can't get around. In other words, you cannot work yourself out of that trap.
So how do you love us unconditionally? Why do you love us unconditionally?
It's easy for us because we're able to step back far enough to know who you really are. We know who you are and why you are here. We know that the contrast is natural, so we don't blame you when you're stepping in the muck. We know that that's how you figure out what you want, so we don't feel uncomfortable when you're in the step one part of the process. We know that it always turns out well because we've got the bigger picture. And so we don't have to worry about any situation that you might get yourself in because we know that ultimately you come back around to who you really are.
So for you, conditions are irrelevant.
Conditions are irrelevant to us, but you are creating conditions all of the time by your vibrational presence, you see. Conditions are an important facet. Begin again. Vibration, thought, emotion with the thought,
right?
Word, conditions, 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 conditions. But if you start with the condition, you are less likely to ever get to the vibration of alignment. It's the cart before the horse thing. You see what we're getting at? Esther woke up one morning feeling good because she hadn't thought any thoughts that took her away from that. She woke up with her cork floating and didn't do anything to cause it not to float. And then she sat, and in that state of unconditional alignment, because she hadn't focused on any conditions that took her higher or lower, she was just there, she looked out into a world and saw conditions of the world more beautifully than she had ever seen them before. She didn't get up not feeling good, make a list of positive aspects, try to talk herself into feeling better, and then look out at the world. She woke up aligned. That's the thing that we're wanting you to hear. You wake up in alignment if you will allow yourself to be in alignment. Her natural state is one of feeling good. Her natural state is one of alignment. Her natural state. And she didn't do the unnatural things that she's learned along her physical trail and take her out of alignment. And why? Because while she slept, momentum ceased, and the vibration of her inner being became dominant. She was in the receptive mode because she didn't tune herself away from the receptive mode. So she woke up still in the receptive mode and stayed there. Ooh. And then the vibration turned to a thought. I think I'll go outside. The vibration turned to a thought. I think I'll look over there. I think I'll look over there. I think I'll look over there. A seamless awareness of her environment with no resistance. Unconditional love. Maybe the phone would ring. Maybe the phone would ring and she would look down. Oh, maybe. But if you have enough experiences like that, pretty soon you'll look down and nothing will take you out. The best word that Esther can find that fits with what you're reaching for is clarity. Now we use the word alignment, but it's not as feelable. And we use the word of love, but you've messed that word up terribly. So the word clarity, clear-minded, sureness, confidence, knowing, certainty, absence of resistance, right path, right time. It's that feeling. It's that feeling. Because you have to understand, all that you've lived has culminated into this consciousness that is this source vibration that is not just aware of you, that is you. That is you and is aware of where you are now. You feeling that in the moment? Whether it's someone causing you to laugh, someone that you're holding as your object of attention that you're enjoying, someone that you are loving, an idea of doing something, In other words, person, place, thing, doesn't matter. You're tuned in to that knowing. When you are in that state of alignment and you are focused in a time-space reality, it doesn't get any better than that. Because now you can feel the continuity. Now you can feel the progress of it. Now to be consciously aware of the thought, the vibration turning to the thought. The thought, the feeling of the thought, the power of the thought, the knowing of the thought, and then the words that begin to flow, and then the cooperative components of the universe that begin to play with you. That's the infinite, you see. To allow all that you are here, now. No blockage. No petty issues. No, I don't like the way you did that. I don't like the way you did that. None of that. Just tuned into Source and living life the way you and Source intended to live life here and now. Or step one, delicious step one, clarifying points. You see, that's why we don't get out of whack when you're out of whack. We know you're having step one and you came here to have some of that. We know none of us can expand. There can be no infinite. There can be no eternal. There can be no everlasting if there's not new, and there can't be new unless there are questions that bring new answers or problems that bring new solutions. It's all part of it. So we bless you in every problem that you are in, and when you start embracing the problem rather than acting like there's something that I'm doing wrong in it, then you'll be who you really are moving through this life experience. We've enjoyed this interaction more than words can explain, and we want you to know that these thoughts have never been before unto all of the universe. We've stepped into new places as a result of who you are. The universe has expanded as a result of this combination of thoughts and desires and beliefs. This expansion is what we all live for. In other words, we are eternal beings, all of us. We will never cease to be. And since we never cease to be, there's no place we're trying to get. All of that we think we're going to, you especially in your human form, is because you think you will feel better in getting there. But once you get there, then there'll be more and more and more and more and more. And so what we want you to leave this gathering really feeling, and you're in a place where you can get it easily, is that in all of all that is, there only is and only ever has been and only ever will be right here, right now. There's only now and how you feel, and only now and how you feel, and only now and how you feel. And you have control over how you feel now and how you feel now and how you feel now. And as you begin exercising that control over how you feel now and how you feel now, how you feel now is just going to be enhanced in how you feel now. And then you will be less attached to what's coming next, because what's coming next is not necessary for how you feel now. And then you will understand firsthand what unconditional love is, what alignment with source energy is, and then you will know who you are and why you are here. You will know what your purpose of life is. Your purpose of life is joy. It is joy here and now, not later, not after the new house, not after the lover shows up, not after the money comes out of the vortex and into the bank. Right here and now, you have the capacity, you have the ability, you now have the knowledge, you have the skill. You can feel good now. Just practice it a little bit and watch what happens. It is our expectation that you will live happily ever after. There is great love here for you. And as always, we remain eternally in your vortex.